Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will, and this is DK Will Talk About It. And I'm going to go over this interview here with the former SEC chief. And the reason I'm going to do it is to show how the message I'm trying to send, that they're not really on your side, meaning the normal, regular folks like us, retail investors, they're not on our side. You are not supposed to be able to make money. But if you do what they expect you to do, you will not make money. You have to do differently than what they expect you to do, what they manipulate you to do, and what they force you to do. So we're going to listen in on this interview with Jay Clayton. And we're going to pause it a little bit and talk a little bit and get through it and highlight that point. But pay very close attention to what the man says. Let's listen in to a portion of it.
So all that said, if you were in the chair today, would you have approved it?
Well, look, I'm not there, and I'm not going to have that kind of, I do this, he would do that. What I have said is, as this has developed, it is clear that Bitcoin is not a security. It is clear that Bitcoin is something that retail investors want access to, that institutional investors want access to. And importantly, some of our most trusted providers who are fiduciaries or have duties of best interest want to provide this product to the retail public. So I think
wants to provide this product to the retail public. Retail wants access to. Bitcoin is not a security. I only know of one digital asset that has been court ruled not to be a security. But clearly there's a push for Bitcoin. But notice the distinction about retail investors. Notice that distinction. This is one of my prior videos brought out as illustrated there by their thumbnail. It was called Consumer or High Net Worth Investor. It was done May of 22. It's very accurate depiction that we're not supposed to make money. Now you probably want to consider me a spy. I'm a spy into the financial markets because I did earn my accredited investor credentials working briefly for a financial advising outfit, a very large one, by the way. But I consider myself the little guy. I don't consider myself anything because I'm not a millionaire. It's just credentials. But I can assure you that we are not supposed to make money, just as this illustrates. Because another way that they do it is these artificial intelligence bots, which I've covered in some of my videos. This one here, retail investors versus artificial intelligence bots, who wins? From an October 22 video that I did. We absolutely, positively, it is not designed for us to win, because if all the workers are rich, who's gonna run the money machine? They're not gonna go and get any sweat on their back and work and earn the money. No, they need the worker bees. They need the ants. They need the workers. They need the consumers. They need the eaters. So they keep everybody down. There's another way they keep everybody down. They manipulate the markets. Another subject of another video. XRP price movement psychs you out? Well, hopefully it didn't. But that's what they want to do. They want to psych you out. They want you to fall prey, give up, go back to your drone of a life, and not be attuned to, well, what's the difference between a retail investor and an accredited investor and an institution and a bank and an insurance company? Why can they buy something that I can't? When the whole premise of this country is that for the people, by the people, blah, 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 right? They're supposed to be representing the people's interest, are they not? Yet they put the reins and the tight harnesses on the money-making opportunities for the elite. Totally contrary to what it's supposed to be. You don't believe me? Well, let's keep listening.
As Anthony said, an approval isn't inevitable. The dichotomy between a futures product and a cash product can't go on forever. And so I think that's the path we're on.
So if it's inevitable, Jay, then what is the SEC deferring? Why is the SEC deferring the applications? Are they looking for other ways, other grounds in which to try and reject these applications? And what is the case to be made when there are, futures ETFs for Bitcoin that are investors safer buying a Bitcoin futures ETF than a Bitcoin cash ETF?
What I think we are finding out is that for a long time, and I held this view. Let me be clear, and I held the view that we were uncertain whether cash trading was so easily manipulatable that retail folks should not have access to it.
Retail folks should not have access to it. I want you to really wrap your mind around that because it's so manipulatable that retail folks should not have access to it. Now, if you're really listening, this thought here taken align with the smart money institutional buying. Why would it be okay for the institutions that he's going to go on to talk about here in a minute? It's okay for them to buy, but retail should not have access to it. If the concern was really about the retail consumers, us regular folks, our access to manipulating it wouldn't be the problem. They're basically saying you're too stupid to make money on it. And until the institutions show us that we can make money on it, control it, tax you and everything else, you can't make money on it. Because it shouldn't be we were concerned whether the retail should have access to it. It should have been concerned. We are concerned with all the outfits that are attempting to manipulate, to pump and dump, or to whatever say. The attention should be on the perpetrators, not the victims, the supposed victims of the retail investors. So if that didn't take the question out of your mind, that we're not supposed to make money, I can't take the question out of your mind. But we are going to keep listening.
There are now large institutions with surveillance mechanisms who are coming in and saying, no, that's not the case. We can rely on the efficacy of the cash market to a sufficient extent where we believe this is an appropriate product. That's a shift. Now, the SEC has been given time by the DC Circuit to reassess and perhaps come up with other reasons. I don't see those. Maybe there will be some, but I don't see those.
So what's your assessment then of what Chair Gensler is doing? Why if everybody in the industry is saying it's inevitable and he's just going to look for ways to reject the applications when there's a futures ETF already on the market, what's the point here?
Well, let me say this. We'll give them time. There's a roughly 45-day time period, both in the DC Circuit and on the deferral of these applications. In the relative scheme of things, and I think Anthony was he didn't say this directly, but in the relative scheme of things, 45 days is a short amount of time. And I do expect that we'll have progress on this going forward.
Yeah, the man said, now the institutions have come in and given it the blessing. This clip from a portion of the video I did, institutions are ready. Are you ready? Getting ready? Not ready? Ready or Not, Here It Comes is the name of it, done in July, just last 2 months ago of this year. But you notice it says 13 banks have invested the most in crypto and blockchain because, see, while they were concerned about keeping the retail investor out and giving you every reason to get away from investing in this market, they were focusing on this market. And there's a coming crypto storm with a focus on digital money intensifying, according to this story. Now, this is a June of last year video I did. Regarding the IQD? Did we invest in IQD to lose or to win? The concept being we don't invest to lose, we invest to win. But to invest to win, we have to change our paradigm. If you look at Squawk Box and NSNBC, MCBS, JKLMOP, STRY, I don't watch TV, okay? And that's how I keep my head clear. But if TV is your guide to investing, you are the sheeple that they are going to pull in for liquidity, because now is the time to be investing when they're trying to scare you from wanting to do so. Because while they're scaring you from wanting to do so, they are buying. Again, from that video I did before in October last year, retail investors versus artificial bots. It says retail investors grow weary of cryptocurrency as institutional interest grows. Do you see the comparison? But they're telling you that you're growing weary. Don't let them tell you how you feel about it. But they do tell you things that you should listen to, that we all should listen to and pay attention. For instance, this example here.
One of the main topics up there was cryptocurrencies and all sorts of companies now getting into this effort, not least among them Facebook. What kind of threat does this pose to the traditional banking system?
Well, I think you have incumbents, the banks, commercial banks, and you have the disruptors. And clearly the disruptors are having an impact on the incumbents. We just heard a very large systemic bank here saying that they're launching their digital coin, currently piloted in a way within the institutional clients, but to be scaled beyond that. We heard from the European Central Bank that they have launched in November something that is called TIPS, that enables all the banks in the Eurozone to actually transfer instantly at virtually no cost money between them. So I think the role of the disruptors and anything that is using distributed ledger technology, whether you call it crypto assets, currencies or whatever, and it's far from the bitcoins that we used to talk about a year ago.
And I covered that reference she made to TIPS in a prior video from October of last year, XRP, a November to remember. I didn't say what year, now did I? But you might want to check that out if you want to understand that. But you'll notice she said it's not the Bitcoins that we're used to a year ago. Because it's not the Bitcoins. It's not the Ethereums either. Did you notice how she said you can do it for a fraction of money? Pennies, I think she said, where, Ethereum just ain't cheap at all. Sometimes it costs more with Ethereum to send what you're sending. So that's not it. But the point I'm making in this video here is that they're going to try to draw you in with Bitcoin. Because that's what everybody thinks. I'm going to buy me some Bitcoin, not realizing that there's 27,000+ coins out there. And you need to know what to get. They're pushing a product, Bitcoin. You notice he started out with Bitcoin? This says over 1/3 of 2021 crypto projects have not delivered a product. Are you invested in one of them? And this is from my video, Money Traps Are Not Safety Nets, done in August of this year, just last month. They are going to tell you, he told you Bitcoin is not a security. There's no legal precedence to say Bitcoin's not a security, or Ethereum's not a security, or any other crypto out there is not a security. Only one, XRP, has been deemed not a security. And you could probably bank on XLM because it's pretty much the same product. And you notice how it's skirted I've talked about it in prior videos, it's skirted any type of accountability, even though being extremely similar. While Jed McCaleb was selling for billions on a schedule and a pace, and nobody sued him like they're suing Brad Garninghouse and Christian Larson. So there's something funky going on. Is Bitcoin likely going to go up in price? You better believe it. That's the flagship of drawing in the masses, to drawing in the capital, the drawing in the liquidity that they want to use to make money. And I'll be honest with you folks, the liquidity that I want to use to make money, because I'm already there. And that's the point of my video, is to help you get there. And by listening to a former SEC chief, if you didn't hear it, I can't make you hear it, but I am talking about it, right? Because see, this is DK. We'll talk about it. So they're pushing a product that they all know is not the one. Now, this man here, he can say it a lot more bluntly than I can. I think I'm saying it bluntly. He also says it vulgarly, and I cut that out because I don't want to do that here. But nonetheless, we're going to let Mr. Dan Pena say it. That says Mike Pena there. I said Dave Pena, but I believe his name is Dan Pena. Let's listen to him tell us what he knows, and he's among those people who knows what to know.
If you knew who owned Bitcoin or who started Bitcoin, you had Bitcoin, you couldn't sleep at night. I know. 100%. And when the real founder of Bitcoin comes out, it is my humble opinion, and there's nothing humble about me,
I can see some Bitcoin losers in the audience. It will never, ever, ever go back. And when it comes out who's behind Bitcoin, and it's not some little Jap man in a cave, Bitcoin will go to zero. Zero. Doesn't matter why. I'm telling you why. It's going to happen. If I told you that, I'd have to kill you.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.